Hey guys, so today I'm going to be attempting to stay relevant and hip and talk about all the cool things that are going on in pop culture. So we're going to be discussing Anaconda by Nicki Minaj. Depending on your philosophies on life, this may or may not be inappropriate. So without further ado, here is Anaconda performed by Nicki Minaj. Alright, so it starts off with the primary motif of the song, My Anaconda Don't. What does anaconda represent here? What does anaconda mean? Well, the snake, the serpent, is a symbol of our connection to the world. It's sort of the umbilical relationship that we have with the planet and with nature. It's very naturalistic. So now we have the anaconda who doesn't want some unless they've got buns, hun. Your reference to your booty or backside. That is where your base chakra is located. Your base chakra being your connection to the earth as well. Having buns would be having that very well developed, very strong connection with the earth. We have this pairing of opposites here. Whoever the speaker is in this case has their connection established, and likewise wants somebody else who will sort of complete that connection, make that full circuit. But anyways, that is the main motif of the song. Alright, so we have our first verse. The first boy, whose name also happens to be Troy. So there's a few different symbols, a few different things we can pick out of this. We have shootouts with the law, we have guns in the purse, this sort of violent imagery, which I think has to do with our nature, which not too fleshed out right here, but I think later on in the song I have the lyrics. I actually looked over the lyrics before I did this, so I was somewhat prepared. I think later in the song, though, that this motif gets thoroughly developed. We have the reference of drugs and getting high, which drugs are an inward journey into the self. You have this struggle, this tension, and then this imagery of getting high. Another popular symbol, especially in regarding to the snake, is the battle between the eagle and the snake. The eagle is the spiritual aspect of man. It's our ungrounded, sort of transcendent nature. Which is in conflict with the nature that's grounded in earth, our, I guess, more primal, animalistic nature. So I think there's part of that too with the reference to the drugs and being high. It's the transcendent spiritual experience versus the nature that's grounded in earth, the anaconda. You also have death and rebirth, the idea of pushing daffodils, that life is built off of death, which again we'll go into a little bit later. Alright, so this next part, can't miss no more meals, automobiles. We have a lot of mixing of sex and food, of eating, and it's all within, come through and fuck them in my automobile. This is all within a car, an automobile, which I think stands for the technological age. There's this idea that once we lose touch with nature, once we sort of lose nature, we're no longer living but just surviving. And then you have these two acts, the acts of eating and the act of sex, which are the basis of survival: eating, sustaining our life, and sex, creating life for the next generation. It could be, you know, that sort of, that struggle, that foresight that this is what this age is now bringing about. Lots of butts. Butts are a very common theme about this, the base chakra, grounding to earth. Alright, so now we're moved on to our next guy, Michael. We find similar themes in here. We find the theme of the rifle, right? A gun, that sort of violent nature, that seems to be present in each verse in which he names a man, so it's almost this pairing of the dualistic nature, the pairing of opposites comes with that sort of violent nature. Now, the imagery here takes a change because we have a more natural setting, a country, or is it country-ass dude, romaine salad. This, I think, is sort of a regression into that agricultural era. Perhaps that's what the move that Nicki Minaj thinks that we should take. The motif of death and violence, I think that is sort of filled out now at this point, that experience of being alive, that human condition in which we have to kill in order to survive. Now, you know, Joseph Campbell says here and the power of myth. Now, one of the main problems of mythology is reconciling the mind to this brutal precondition of all life, which lives by the killing and eating of lives. And now Joseph Campbell, his idea of what our new mythology would become, what would be necessary for us as a civilization, would be a regression back into a more naturalistic mythology in which we connect with the earth, that sort of earth mother, as well as create a global mythology that stands for sort of one community of the entire earth. And I think you can see a lot of that in here, in that it really brings us back to our connection with the earth. And you know, there's lots of references to places around the world. You have Eiffel Tower, Detroit. The music video takes place in this sort of jungle-like setting. That could be, you know, Nicki Minaj's attempt to bring this more universal mythos back to us. Possibly. Alright, so the song ends with a lot of booty appreciation. I've got a fat ass where my fat ass bitch is at, etc. So she's placing herself in the strong connection with the earth, that very strong base chakra. Fat ass, a big base chakra, a big strong connection to the earth. I think at the end of this, Nicki Minaj is very in touch with the sort of the primal symbols of humanity, the fundamental aspect of the human condition, of what it is to be alive. Her images may be a little scattered, could use a little more development in certain areas, but all in all, at the end of the day, I think it stands pretty strong in itself for what the song's trying to say, what it's trying to get across. You know, like the song or don't like the song, I think that there's some good things that can be pulled from it. That's going to be it for today, so I will see you guys later. Peace out.